Hi there, I am back. My name is Melissa Hall from HomeCandleCreations, or learnhowtomakesoycandles.com is where you can find all my candle making instructions and how to start a soy candle business. So I haven't made a video for a while because we have been remodeling our kitchen. As you can see back here, it's a little different. We've got a new countertop and new cabinets, some tile in the back, new paint. And it's just so much nicer than the old kitchen. So I'm glad to be able to be making videos now with my nice new kitchen. So today we are going to start with soy tea lights. Soy tea lights usually last, they can burn for about 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours. So they last a long time, twice as long as your regular tea lights, at least twice as long. So they are definitely worth the extra money if you're, wanting to buy tea lights, but, because they cost a little bit more, but, they burn at least twice as long as normal ones. And so it's worth the money. You get what you pay for. So today we're going to need about 20 of our little tea light cups, and we're going to need 20 tea light wicks. These cute little wicks here. Our yellow candle dye. And our fragrance oil, which is lemon cheesecake today. Very, very yummy fragrance. I love it. And it makes you want to eat it, but it wouldn't taste very good, so I wouldn't suggest trying it. So, our pour pot to put the wax in. We need a candy thermometer to keep track of our temperature of our wax. We'll need a rubber spatula to stir with. And my digital scale to weigh the wax. You can use any kind of kitchen scale, but digital is nice because you can get more exact measurements that way, especially when you're pouring your fragrance oil in. So. And then we'll need a pot with water in it. And I've put about that much water in it, so probably about an inch. And that will keep the wax heated evenly when you put your pour pot in here to melt it. So make sure you always use water. Never just set the wax in there without any water around it, because it could get too hot and then combust. And we don't want to start a fire. So first of all, I'm going to put the rest of these tea light wicks in, and what I do is I just make sure that the tea light wick is straight, nice and straight, and then I set it in there right in the middle of the cup. So that one was a bit crooked, so I'm going to straighten it out and then set it in the middle of the cup. And now I'm going to turn the scale on and set the pour pot on the scale, tare it out. So you press the tare button here, and so it'll zero it out. And then we're going to pour 1 pound of wax in. So I'm just going to grab a cup, since I don't have my scoop, and I'm gonna pour the wax in until we get to 1 pound. And actually, what I like to do is I don't go all the way to 16 ounces because we're gonna be pouring some fragrance oil in there, and we're gonna use 1 ounce of fragrance oil. So I'll put 15 ounces of wax in here, and then when we put our 1 ounce of fragrance oil in, it'll add up to 16 ounces altogether. So now that we've got that in, the wax in there, I'm going to turn the burner on to about 3, and we'll heat the wax up. So we'll set this in. And since I only have 1 pound of wax in, I'm going to take this off the side and set it directly in there because it's not quite reaching down there. So now we need to wait until the wax is to about 180 degrees. So once it's at 180 degrees, it's all melted, then we can take it out and put our fragrance oil and our dye in there. So now we wait. All right, so we are at 180 degrees about. So I'm gonna turn on the scale again. And we're gonna take this out. Set her on the scale. Tear it out again. So zero it out. And then I'm going to put 1 ounce of the lemon cheesecake fragrance oil. So just pour it until it says it's up to 1 ounce on the scale. There we go. Oh, that smells so good. Yum. I'm gonna have to find a recipe for lemon cheesecake after this. All right, and so we stir that in. Make sure you stir it really well so it incorporates into the wax. And then I'm gonna put just 2 drops of the yellow dye. Oh my goodness, that smells good. And then we stir it really well again. And now it's time to wait again. There's a lot of waiting in making soy candles. Oops. We're gonna wait until it gets down to about 100 degrees, anywhere from 90 to 100 degrees, and then we'll pour. But we don't want to do it too much hotter than that because you can get what's called frosting on the top of your candles when it cools. Pouring too hot can contribute to that. But most importantly, if you pour too hot, it can make sinkholes in the middle when it cools. It'll make sinkholes in the middle where your wick is, and we don't want that. So pouring at about 100 degrees will keep you from getting sinkholes. All right, this little lid just does not want to stay on. So now we just need to wait a while, and depending on the room temperature, it can take a while. So just maybe set your timer. What I like to do is set my timer for about 20 minutes and then come back and check it. So now that it's about down to 100 degrees, we're gonna stir a little bit more before we pour. All right. So just with the little tea lights, you just have to make sure to pour slowly and stop right when you get up to the top. The wicks are probably going to move around a little bit, so after I pour, I just make sure to straighten them back out. And so far so good with not spilling any. Of course, I'm probably speaking too soon. Alright, so, and actually I had a little bit left, so I guess I was a little wrong on my count. So you could probably do about 4 more tea lights with what I've got left there. So So you might want to, if you do this with 1 pound of wax, you might want to go ahead and have 24 tea lights out instead of just 20. So just get these recentered, and then after that you just let them sit and cool. And then, you know, if some of the wicks are a little bit long, you can clip the tops of them off so they're about 1/4 of an inch on the top. Alright, well that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can visit me at www.learnhowtomakesoycandles.com for more candle making instructions and how to start a soy candle business. And if you subscribe below, you can keep informed of new videos that I'll be coming out with. And if you like the video, go ahead and click the like button below. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. So one question some of you might have as far as the candle dye goes is, what happens if you drip some on an area that you don't want it to be? I'm going to drip a few drops of this blue candle dye onto my nice clean white stovetop, and I'll show you how you can actually get it off, because I had an incident when I first started making soy candles where I had some red dye fall onto the ground, onto my nice tile floor, and the bottle broke and there was red dye all over the place. The way to get this dye up is cooking oil. I'm pretty sure any kind of cooking oil will do. This is canola oil. But you just put a nice amount onto a paper towel or napkin, and we'll wipe it up. So you just do that, and then you should be able to take a little bit of soap on your sponge and wash it right up. There we go. And you can even do that if you get it on your hands. You can just rub your hands in cooking oil. And on your hands it may not get it all off, but it'll get most of it off, at least. So that's your tip for today.